everybody on their feet here in Cincinnati. There it is! Pete Rose, the all-time Major League Baseball hit leader.
Charlie Hustle and the Matter of Pete Rose coming to HBO July 24th and 25th. 4-part docuseries, 2 episodes each day. I'm joined now by director Mark Monroe. And Mark, I got a chance to screen this documentary. Very, very interesting as someone who grew up playing baseball, knowing little bits about the stats about Pete Rose and obviously the ban from baseball. But for you, what was your interest in directing this project? How did this all come about?
Well, as a storyteller, I mean, come on, it's hard to beat this setup where you have someone who at one time was not just probably the most famous baseball player, but among the most famous sports stars on the planet Earth. He was it, and he was like the first guy on the Wheaties box. So for that guy to then commit the kind of cardinal sin of gambling and be kind of exiled, banned from the game he loves, the game that he brought and made famous to a lot of people, to a generation of fans. As one of my guys, Marty Brenneman, says, I mean, Shakespeare would have had a field day with this, and I certainly tried to have a field day with this.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many layers to Pete Rose. So when you were going through this process, what were you initially setting out to do, and did you accomplish that, or was this something that just became so many different things and you had to piece it together? Because he had his own goals, you had yours. How'd that mesh together?
Well, I mean, I never set out to defend Pete Rose or to create any kind of, a propaganda piece to try to influence the Hall of Fame or anything like that. I felt like the best thing for Pete Rose is the best thing for me, which is to try to tell a full story, to make sure that he is able to speak to or confronted on the facts on the ground, as they say, the aspects of his life that maybe he doesn't like talking about so much. I think what I was trying to do with this whole piece from the very beginning was just to ask the question, what are we supposed to do with these guys?
There are times during questioning where there's maybe some pushback. And then there's other times where it's just you're letting Pete say everything, and then you might use someone else's voice to be like, no, he told me this instead. What was it like with him throughout that? Because I mean, there's even a point where he says, you ask a question and he goes, okay, what's the next stupid question? And it sounded like he was having fun with it, but what was that like? Just kind of feeling that out of he's going to talk the way he talks, truthful or not, but we also want to try to push a couple things.
Well, I mean, again, Pete is his most famous act on earth is hitting a baseball, but his second most famous is lying. I think that's the beauty of the doc. I think people who go into it who are huge Pete Rose fans can see a version of the story that affirms their love of him. And I think people who believe that he deserves to go, to go away, to not be honored at the Hall of Fame can also watch this and feel like there are episodes in his life that warrant that belief.
Well, Mark, thank you so much. Documentary out this week. Super excited for everyone to get the chance to watch it. Head on over to HBO. Charlie Hustle and the Matter of Pete Rose. Mark, thanks again.
Thank you so much for the time.
So we're done because I got to go make a bet. No, I'm just kidding.